liability? Yeah. Criminal responsibility of one who acts with another before, during, or in some jurisdictions after a crime. See 18 U.S. Code 2. Yes. Now, let's say you're an accomplice to the misprisioning of felony. Quite possibly that'd be a second felony. See, every time I email any person in this nation, yes, that has a legal or professional obligation for the enforcement of the laws, the liability, yeah, and accountability. Oh, 600 civil rights coordinators from every school district. Yeah. Every time I emailed all the sheriffs in each and every county of the state of Washington, yes, they're all accomplices to the sheriff's liability, right, of refusing to enforce the laws. Now, for every sheriff and all the deputy sheriffs and the undersheriffs in every county, I'm suing you for every item that you own, because I'm going to get a tax deduction for everything that the Department of Justice decides that they don't want to sue you for. And then I'm going to sue you for the mandatory restitution. Okay. Now, I went through the whole court directory and emailed pretty close to every superior court in the state of Washington. I emailed the Supreme Court justices what could be 10,000 times. Yes, I emailed every state of the United States. Oh. And for some reason, the whole nation thought, well, we are not going to be held liable, yes, for a legal obligation. We are not going to be accountable for the knowledge of forgery, fraud, and felony. Yes, we are not going to allow you to sue us. Now, excuse me, I want to tell you something. I am going to sue you. See, in today's email, I said that if you are liable for the enforcement, that means the obligation to report crime. Yes, because there's a liability for the enforcement of the laws. Yes, if you are liable for the enforcement of the law because of your sworn oath of office, yes, your attorney oath, your oath of admission, yes, your bar association membership, or you're graduating from any law school of the United States, I'm going to sue you because you're liable for the enforcement of the laws. Boy, oh boy. Now, you thought another 180 emails was a good idea today. It really wasn't. It would have been a lot better if 3.5 years ago, when I first informed you on November 15th of 2015, yes, that my civil rights are being violated, if the Sequim Police Department, the Port Angeles Police Department, and the Port Townsend Police Departments had talked to the judge and said, remove that protection order because it violates the civil rights of Paul. Yes. It violated the civil rights of Heidi. Yes. As the petitioner that wasn't there. Yes. And it violates the civil rights of the 5 minors named. But for 3 years and 8 months, I've been emailing about the crime. Now, it's obvious that Jefferson and Clallam counties have decided, yes, that they're going to conspire together. They're going to be accomplices too. Yes. Numerous felonies. Yes. Because they themselves will not take any sort of responsibility for their own crime. Well, this is the anti-fraud playbook. Yes. You can invest years in building your agency's reputation and public trust in it, and one incident of fraud can destroy it. Now, this is usually for those that are the actual employees, right? But misprision of felony means your knowledge of felony, federal offense. Yes. The CFOs are liable. In fact, could you get me the chief financial officers of each and every corporation of the United States? Now, a lot of times a CFO, yes, has to look at what's known as risk. Now, what contributes to fraud versus fraud risk? Why is managing fraud risk important? The Government Accountability Office Standards for Internal Controls in Federal Government and the Green Book defines fraud as obtaining something of value through willful misrepresentation. Now, what did you obtain of value through the willful misrepresentation? Well, you got paid for shows. I mentioned that. Yes. And then there's a possibility of your top secret cloning where you're making lookalikes that happen to be sex puppets. Yes. And then there's the idea of experimenting on the population so that you can sell the technology to other individuals. Yes. Now, for every look-alike, Marilee, yes, that you made, yes, that if you touch the nose of the look-alike woman, yes, is there the possibility that you've been experimenting with some technology? Yes, so that you can program the sexuality of any woman that doesn't want to have sex with you. You know, there are a lot of people in the world, I'd say predominantly men. If you had the availability of a little biochip, yes, or maybe one of those RFID implants in the nose, yes, where you just touch the nose, it would immediately stimulate the sexuality of whomever has that in them so that you could obligate them to have sex with you anytime you want, Sheriff, anytime you want, just by touching their nose. A lot of men would pay for that technology to be able to put it into any woman that they found sexual attraction to. Yes, so they could control the sexuality of any woman that did not want to have sex with them. Now, when we really look at what you're covering up, okay, there seems to be this willful misrepresentation to attain what is valuable to many, many men. The control of the sexuality of women.